Hi there, my name is John Green, and this is Crash Course World History. Today we're going to talk about Egypt. No, not that Egypt. Older, less fictional. Yes, that one. Ancient Egypt is probably the most influential of the River Valley civilizations. Like, you may not recognize any Assyrian kings or Assyrian language, but you probably do know King Tut, and you may recognize that the Eye of Horus is right now staring at me and judging me. I can feel your judgment. When we think of ancient civilizations, we think of Egypt. There are a few reasons for this, like the fact that the pyramids are the last man standing among the 7 ancient wonders of the world. But more importantly, ancient Egyptian civilization lasted from 3000 BCE to 332 BCE. That's a period that historians call a long-ass time. And I will remind you, it is not cursing if I'm talking about donkeys. So there are many approaches to the study of history. You can view history as a millennia-long conversation about philosophy, or as clashes between great men, or you can see history through the lens of traditionally neglected populations like women, or indigenous peoples, or slaves. And we're going to try to take many approaches to our study of history during Crash Course. Mr. Green, which approach is right? I mean, for the test. Oh, me from the past. Remember how you spent all of third-year French writing notes back and forth to that girl, and she eventually agreed to go out with you, and you did make it to second base, but now you can hardly parle un mot de français? Historical lenses are like that, my friend. With every choice, something is gained and something is lost. Right, so in discussing agriculture and early river valley civilizations, we've been approaching history through the lens of resource distribution and geography. And just as the violent and capricious Tigris and Euphrates rivers shaped the worldview of early Mesopotamians, the Nile shaped the worldview of the Egyptians. Let's go to the thought bubble. The Nile was regular, navigable, and benign, making for one of the safest and richest agricultural areas in the world. Each summer, the river flooded the fields at precisely the right time, leaving behind nutrient-rich silt for planting season. Planting was so easy that Egyptians just tossed seeds around the silty earth and then let their cattle or pigs walk on it to press the seeds into the ground, and then boom, grain and figs and wheat and pomegranates and melons and joy. Unlike most river valley civilizations, Egyptian communities existed only along the Nile, which was navigable enough to get valuable resources downstream, from timber to gold, which the Egyptians considered the divine metal, thereby introducing an idea that would eventually culminate in Mr. T. The Nile was also easily tamed. While other river valley civilizations needed complicated and labor-intensive hydraulic engineering projects to irrigate crops, the Nile was so chill that Egyptians could use a simple form of water management called basin irrigation, in which farmers used floodwaters to fill earthen basins and canals for irrigation. In short, the awesomeness of the Nile meant Egyptians could create big food surpluses with relatively little work, allowing time and energy for some pretty impressive projects. Also, the Nile may help explain ancient Egypt's general optimism. While ancient Sumerian religion, for instance, saw the afterlife as